Yeah, seeing the highlights from the Charleston Southern game, being there in the atmosphere, the FAMU game, seeing some of the younger guys get some minutes there once the lead became stronger. But the chemistry on this team is undeniable. You can easily see it from anywhere on the court. Can you talk about what you've seen from your players as the coach? Because I saw you talk when we were discussing the film about how the players responded at the end of the game and what, for example, with Brian, seeing how he reacted to some of the coaching that you talked with him about. The chemistry in this team is so strong, but what are you seeing from your players that help move on from that and build off of these wins?
You know, I would say this. First of all, recruiting character and not characters is critical in our program. And the one thing we know is our guys are far from perfect. Our guys are going to make mistakes. Our guys are human beings. We're all sinful. But the one thing that we've really harnessed, and the one thing that we're really is important for us, is the fact that we have to love one another and have a respect and accountability for one another. It'd be no different than how you feel about your brother or sister, how you feel about maybe who you consider to be your best friends or your mentors or the teacher or whatever, the people that you truly could say to them, like, I love this person. Like, I truly love this person. And then what does love mean? Because in that, you have to understand that you have to be able to be critical. You have to be able to be just genuinely like helpful and hug them and love on them and get them through times when maybe they don't feel so good or they don't feel as well or things didn't go quite their way or, you know, whatever the scenario. And because of that connectivity, I believe this. Being in this league for 10 years, I'm convinced of this. When talent is equal, and you can go back and look at this, when talent is equal, character separates the champion. I'm telling you. You can go back all the way through it. The UNFs, the Mercers, the Belmonts, you can go back all the way through it. When talent is equal, character will separate you, and that's what separates championship play. I think probably what we talked about a little bit earlier maybe comes into effect, a correlation that you can give to that. I mean, you look at the guy like Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts is like, here's a guy that could let all the negativity in the world inside him, could believe it all, could spit it all back out, could really indulge himself into everything that's negative. The coach doesn't like you. You ain't good enough. You're getting, as you guys call it, you're getting screwed. The coach sucks. The program sucks. They don't know what they're doing. Okay, they've just won like 6 championships in the last 10 years. I think the guy knows what he's doing. But they tell that to Jalen Hurts, and that's everybody's telling him. Don't play. Don't get hurt. Save your career. Heck with them. And he's saying, no, team. Now, in probably some of his private moments, he probably was feeling bad. He probably was feeling sorry. He probably felt he should have been playing. And you know what? Any competitive athlete should feel that way. That's the way life is. You should feel compelled to be out on the field. But when it's that time to be there and to be with your teammates and to help your second string or to help Tug get ready, whatever it is. And then he gets hurt, hurts his ankle, can't play. The kid from Bartram Trail right down the street is now the backup. Everybody's like, see, I told you you're going to get hurt. Don't play. He's like, man, just leave me alone. Like Kobe Bryant told all his people when he first got in the NBA, leave me alone. You're not at practice every day. You're not with me every day. You're not in the film room every day. You have no idea what goes on inside of what I'm trying to do. Just like a parent or a booster on the outside. Why isn't Nathan playing more? Well, he did well against. But you ain't with us every day. You don't know what he's doing. But Jalen Hurts was true. Lincoln said, be prepared. Perhaps your chance will come. Maybe not. But it might come. And as good as God is in John 13:7, it actually says, you're not going to understand it, but one day you will. It's 12 words. 13:7 of John. It's 12 words. You don't understand right now, because we never do. Especially young people and even old people like me. Like, we don't understand. Like, why me? Why this? Why is it happening? We want microwave 130, start, and let's go. It doesn't work that way all the time. Sometimes you got to wait, and you got to wait, and you got to wait, and then next thing you know, when it comes, Tug hurts his ankle. Uh-oh, Jalen, you're up. Now, what's great about what I believe, because I don't believe in coincidence, is the biggest game that Tug took over became the biggest game that Jalen took over. And when you look at those two things, in my opinion, in the laurels of Alabama football history, Jalen Hurts will be remembered far quicker and far longer than Tug. Far quicker and far longer than Tug. Because what happened, what transpired, and the way he was in those, wasn't quite 365 days, but it was pretty close, is amazing for human beings to see. And amazing for us to see, just as not just athletes. I'm talking about everybody. And just keep doing what you're supposed to do and keep moving forward, because there's a purpose and a plan. You just may not understand that. I have no idea if I answered your question.
No, that was
By the way, I like the Snoopy tree.
Yeah,
Did we get that from?
Little festive decoration we added here in the studio, but
I like it.
You definitely answered that question. I love everything you said. Something I wanted to pick your brain about is whether we're in school or in sports, the word that I hear a lot is expectations.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
When you hear the word expectations for the men's basketball season, do you talk to your players about expectations, or do you ignore that and focus one game at a time?
When you talk about expectations too, you talk about expectations as a husband. I mean, the expectations on me as a husband, in my eyes, are way up here. My expectations on me as a father are way up here. And a good story, when my son was younger, I mean, I had no idea he was getting bullied, and he was on the verge of hurting himself like no parent ever wants their child to hurt them. And I had no idea. And your expectations as a father, you're way up here, and you never want, you never want those things to happen. Expectations are such a huge part of life because we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we have so much accountability and responsibility as we move through our stages of life. And I think athletics can really, really, really help you hone in on how to become a better father, how to become a better husband, how to become a better person in society and making a difference in someone's life every single day, how to become a better coworker, how to become, handle those expectations. And it's difficult. If we don't win, I get fired. And understand something. President Szymanski is a wonderful human being. President Delaney did a wonderful job. But I know as the men's basketball coach, the expectations on us, we don't have football, the expectations on us and what we can do from a viewpoint of University of North Florida in the exposure that we can give this university is exponential. What it can do for everybody, for research, for engineering, for the school business, for whatever you want to talk about. Like men's basketball can take it like it did in 2015 and 16 to a whole nother level. So every day I wake up with, I understand that. So how do you deal with that? How do you handle that? Well, let me ask you this question. How does a young kid coming to school here, 6'5", 6'6", and in his mind, he's thinking, I need to be this, and I need to be that, and I need to be him, and I need to be him, and I'm better than him, and my mom wants me to do this, and my dad wants me to do this, and my coach thinks I should do this, my AAU coach thinks I should do this, and then you get here, and like them dudes are pretty good. So now these expectations are just on your shoulders like this, and you're like, well, man, maybe I'm not ready yet. Well, man, maybe I'm not good enough. Well, man, maybe I'm not. So now you got that, man, maybe I'm not scenario going on. And we could use so much more mental help in our industry, in athletics in general, and really in life. Praise God, I got a lot of people that help me mentally. And when you have some of that help, it can help curve or control. I'll give you a great scenario. I had a player one time tell me, Coach, I want to be like LeBron. I mean, I think I could be like, this dude's like 6'6", I think I want to be like LeBron. So a lot of people would say, don't ever kill a kid's dreams. Don't ever kill what a kid says. Don't ever say you can't be him or you can't do that. You're a bad person. Really? So let me ask you a question. When LeBron was your age, what was he doing?
He was ready for the draft.
LeBron was getting 23 and 11 in the NBA. You're at the University of North Florida. So, bruh, you ain't LeBron. And I'm not being disrespectful for you or your talent. I'm just telling you, bruh, like, that's way too much expectations. That's way too much pressure. And whoever's telling you that's a fool. Is a fool. Like, why not be the best version of you can be? Why not be the person that has the ability to grow their game, to grow their life, to understand, to pour in, instead of worrying about, what does it look like? How many likes do I got? How many, I got to be like, come on, man. Like, why not enjoy who you are and the difference that you can make, and let's get you as good as you can be.
What's your message to all the fans and the students here about why they should come to more men's basketball games coming into this season?
You know what? Now that we're in our 10th season, and it's been amazing, the run that we've had, and it's really goes back to what you said earlier with the kind of players that we have walking around this campus, the kind of players that we have in classes with all these different students, but more importantly, what this environment is and what this environment does. And as I said on Twitter many, many times, when you're here and you're loud and you're obnoxious, it's amazing the difference that you can make in our games and in the vibe and the feel of our players. And it's sometimes hard to understand, but you have to really, really believe, and you have to really be harnessed in on the sense that you really do make a difference, and you really can create an atmosphere. And what that does from a community standpoint is more people come to the game, more people see those students, they see the players, they see the vibe, they get the feel. Now there's kids coming, now they're bringing different people to the games, business people, and it's an amazing, becomes an event. And that's something that we've been able to do and grow and build, but we need to continue to do that and never take it for granted how great our student body is. And like I've said on Twitter, in the mid-major game of basketball, there is no student section better than you.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, and looking forward to all the games this year. An exciting time for basketball, for men's basketball here at UNF. Thank you so much, Coach. Anything else you want to share?
No, just hey, finish up strong in finals, and happy holidays, and everybody have safe travel back, because I know that's a big deal getting home for holidays, and we always want people to be safe. But you know, it's a holiday season. It's a great time for family. This will be the longest break we've ever had in the history of our program. We've never given our guys this much time off, which is good. Bad for Coach, because Coach gets a little bit excited here and a little bit eager for those guys to come back. But we're excited about what's going to transpire after Christmas as well, too, with a couple games in preparation for North Alabama home on Saturday, January 5th.
I'll be at every single home game. Looking forward to those games as well, Coach.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate
it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.